Hello, Interverse, YouTube, DTube, Whaleshare, Steam it, wherever you may be. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, my tutorial crew? Crypto G here, coming at you with another Feynman Lightworks video tutorial, whereby I try and break down some effects for you and do it as simple as possible. We're doing the Feynman technique, meaning hopefully, be you a 5-year-old child or an 80-year-old adult, you will be able to understand and follow along with this tutorial and get your own effects going. So today, let's jump into it. I'm going to show you how to basically, amongst other things, do this effect. It's just a pretty simple effect there, but we're going to get some better stuff going than that. But yeah, I wanted to take you up from something simple to something a little bit more complex. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to switch back to a unaffected clip, and the first thing we go is to go to the VFX tab. And of course, you know how to set the project. You just come out here, create project, name it, choose your frame rate, auto if you don't know what it is, or choose from there, and off you go. But we've already got this one open, this little title test here, so we're just going to come straight back into here. Okay, so first things first, I'm actually going to get rid of all of that below, and so we're just working with our top one here. Okay, so we're going to go back to the beginning. The first titles we're going to look at, as you can see here under text, you know, your menu might look a little bit different from this. It might have these closed, maybe your favorites open, but it's down right at the bottom. We go to text and we're going to go to crawl. Okay, so that's the very first one we're going to use. And if we come along, if we just scroll along, we can see here we've got some text. I'm just going to make this timeline smaller. We can just see here we've got some text and it just scrolls along the bottom of the screen. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set our keyframes. And if you remember, a frame is just one single picture, because any video is just a selection of pictures put together. So let's go to the start here, and we want to get it just as the skateboarder is coming on screen, who I've decided to call Jeff Awesome. So awesome, he has to have a exclamation mark in his name. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the position and we're going to just move to the left, which will move our text up. We're going to move our progress bar. We're going to take that to the left, so it's almost off screen. Just sort of there. In fact, we'll take it just behind you. It's just off screen at 0%. And that's our first keyframe. Now we want to come down to the bottom here. We just want to jump to the previous key stage here by using our arrow and just making sure that our text is indeed off the screen. Okay, so there's our first keyframe. Our next keyframe will be roughly where, well, exactly where he's over the top. I know that that's just around 8 seconds. I'm going to get it close. Oops. I'm going to get it close and then use the arrows here to the right of the play arrow just to get it right. Okay, so now we can move our progress bar along, and if you see here, as soon as I move it, once I've set one keyframe, it now knows down the bottom here, anytime I move this, then I obviously want a keyframe, so I don't have to bother adding add. It's always best to check though, just to double check that it has actually done that. So now we want to move the position, so I'll go left again, and of course we're going to end up changing the color and what's actually said here. So we'll just do that now here, and we'll go Jeff Awesome. Don't know this guy's name, but I'm going to call him Jeff Awesome. He's even got an exclamation mark in his name. Where is he now? Now we want to go to font. Sorry, we want to go to face because we want to change the color. And I'm just going to drag that up to the right here. Yeah, that's fine. We'll make that a bit more shocking pink. Okay, and then we'll just click off to get rid of that menu and go back to our position. And yeah, we're happy with that. Now we want to go to where he lands, or just before he lands. So he's, yeah, there we go. He's still in the air, and we want to bring down, sorry, we want to bring it down even further. So we go to the right with position. And maybe we want to scoot his progress along a bit. Okay, and yeah, that's added a keyframe for me. Sometimes you'll still see the plus, but as long as you see a little green or pink diamond here, depending on what effects you're using, in this case it's green, you know you're okay. Okay, and then finally our last keyframe will be as he goes off screen. We'll see that's not quite where we want it. We want it, in fact, just before he goes off screen, and we'll scooch the progress along to the right to almost 100%, just where we can see, say, a bit of the E and the exclamation mark. Okay, so that's it, and there we go. We've got another keyframe there. Right, so that is as simple as that. Let's have a look at how that is, how that's worked rather. Hit play. Aha. So now you might find this when you're keyframing. I wanted to do this, I wanted to put in a deliberate mistake for you to show you the kind of stuff that you have to be aware of when you're keyframing. Okay, so we're going to go back to here. Where was it? It's about here, right? So what we see here is that even though we started, let me get that right at the back, even though we've started at the bottom, as we can see that J, it immediately starts moving upwards. And that's simply because, if I jump to the next keyframe down here, that's simply because if you drew the shortest, distance between this point and this point is a straight line, basically. And so it's kind of coming up from there, and it's saying, I know you want to get to there, so I'm going to take the shortest distance, but sometimes you might not want to do that. So always be aware of that. I mean, I like to set the first 3 key points first, keyframes I should say first, and then have a look at it, and then you can make your adjustments. Right, so we're going to now move this position down because we don't want it down yet. Sorry, we don't want his name coming up yet, so I'm going to move him right to the bottom. I'm going to arrest for progress a little bit. Okay, and so now it's going to take the shortest distance between here where my cursor is and up here where it ends. So in fact, let's take that back a bit. I should have probably started from a bit further back, but that's good for me. Okay, now let's have a look. Make sure we've got a keyframe. Indeed we have. And we can use the arrow to just jump back to the beginning of the video and hit play. Okay. Boom. And so there we go. And even, I would probably, it's not quite how I did it before. I would probably, oops, where are we? Yeah, it's still lagging a bit behind there. So I would just scooch up the position a little bit more. Oops, not the position, sorry. That was on 81, I'll leave that roughly the same. It's probably going to jerk now because I didn't pay attention, but here we go. Just scooch it up a little bit. There we go. All right, let's have a look at how that looks. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Right, so that's quite a simple title effect, and obviously you'd probably use it on something else. You wouldn't do this, but I just wanted to show you how that is, because those crawl titles, we usually just use them to, the news uses them a lot, just to scroll news items or program items along the bottom of the screen as someone's talking, but there's just a little fun thing that you can do with them.